Friday. Today, we're talking about magnetism and how it actually works. You may have also heard of something called the law of attraction, which has become uh, very marketed, and it doesn't really speak to how it actually works. And so I want to break it down to you in very fundamental ways that goes beyond what the law of attraction says and is more fundamental so you can actually apply it. Okay. So the magnetism works like this: the inner world, our inner world, creates our outer reality. What many people have been taught to believe is that what your thoughts are will create your reality. The part that they've missed with this is that the thoughts need to be congruent with the frequency. So let's just say what most people do is they put these vision boards up. I want this thing and that thing, and I want a Porsche. I want all these material things. I want to get married. I want to have love. I want to have joy. All these, I want to have six pack abs. All these really material, physical things. But what happens with people when they put these vision boards up is it often creates what's called a conflict. And a conflict is good when it's done in the mind, but it's not good when it's felt inside. So meaning, if you're looking at your vision board or your goals or whatever, and it creates the type of conflict of lack, meaning, oh, that's what I want, but this is what I have. And so therefore I'm upset that I don't have this relationship or this marriage or this family or these six pack abs. And so it creates this magnetism of lack. So the inner world creating the outer world would also look like in your health. So when you have cholesterol issues or heart issues or diabetes or whatever, those are all indicators of what's going on in your inner world. So the outside world is always going to reflect what's going on inside. It's not going to reflect the other way around. So, meaning you see something in your outside world, therefore it must mean this. No. So, that's why it's so important when people are talking about diet and what you're feeding your body. Instead of doing prescriptive diets like and what works for other people or what's the biggest trend, people really should be eating in relationship to how their body is resonating. So, for example, I'll show you a distinction. There's several people that'll tell me all the time, I drink a gallon of water, Kiana. I drink plenty of water. The problem is that their cells are not absorbing the water. That's the issue. The issue isn't are they drinking water? It's that their cells are not able to take in the hydration of the water. That's an absorption issue. That has nothing to do with the amount of water you're drinking. So, the inside world, are we able to take in nutrients? Are we able to dictate our health if we're not aware? So, for example, for me, I'll use my own personal example. When I had a an exorbitant amount of heavy metal poisoning, which you can watch my video on heavy metals, the secret illness. Your cells do not absorb nutrients proper. The way that your body interprets the nutrients is the signal gets screwed up. There's all kinds of things that happen with that. If you don't have the information from the inside world knowing, if you're not sensitive enough to have an awareness, like, so I knew these things were happening. I just didn't understand how to correct it at the time when I was chronic, right? Because it was like a chaotic experience to have those metals in your body. That's a distinction of being out of alignment. I will tell you, my outside world completely, totally reflected that chaos. It would show up in crazy ways, like I would write an appointment down. It would be a missed appointment. I put the wrong time. It would be a bunch of inconsistencies and incongruencies that would show up constantly. That came from my inside world. When I changed and was able to fix how I was absorbing nutrients, how I was absorbing water, how I was on the inside, my entire reality changed, literally and figuratively. The people in my life changed, the things that I enjoyed changed, how I communicated changed, my clients changed. Like everything changes when you're operating from the inside out. I now have clients that resonate with the frequency of value and appreciation of my services. Whereas in the past, I don't know that all my clients valued and appreciated my services. They may have valued and appreciated what they got, but they weren't connecting that I was a part of that. How our inside world reflects our outside world. So look at how you're eating would be a great start. Not about going on a diet, but noticing how foods feel inside of you. I also had one client in the past who would have like really bad indigestion. And it wasn't until he started tracking what he was eating that he realized that it was sugar induced by sweet tea, which is an exorbitant amount of sugar, that was causing his indigestion. It wasn't the fried food, it wasn't the other stuff, it was the sweet tea. Once we took the sweet tea out, the indigestion went away. Now, did he continue going to that restaurant after? I don't know. But we did identify what the issue is. So, your internal guidance system, when it's operating optimally, will create a resonance and a frequency. That's what you want to pay attention to. So, if you looking in your outside world for a reflection, that's a way to get a different perspective on what's going on in your inside world. If you can't feel it, or if you are unsure, or if you're not used to working with somebody like me who will bring certain questions up to help you identify those things, but you can do it on your own. But this is the most important aspect of the law of attraction, is how we actually magnetize is through our inner world creation. So if you're looking for a promotion or a job, you need to be in alignment with that. That comes from the creation inside. And you start by making sure you're congruent with a promotion. So that would mean taking away and looking at all those worthiness issues. It might also take away like the complex of the ego and how the ego gets in the way in the interviews. That's often an issue. How one presents themselves will come across in an interview as incongruent. So you can like not have all the right answers and still score higher than other people based on how you present. So many people are focused on having the right answers instead of looking at their alignment. And what I'm suggesting today is that you look at how are you aligned on the inside? How do you do that? How are you feeling that? How are you seeing that? And how are you sensing it? And if you're not able to do either of those three, then you should seek some guidance from somebody who's an expert in those things. Hello. Anyways, I love this stuff. I hope you found this interesting. So then once you find your inner alignment, then your thoughts will naturally align with that. So to make the leap that I am worthy and just say affirmations constantly won't always work, because there's that undertone of incongruence of worthiness. So you got to look at the wounds. Anyways, that's a process. Hope you have a great Friday. Bye. Oh, I am Kiana Sage and I guide people to peace. Bye.